Hello and welcome, Brett here with ClickMill. In this video, we are going to talk about images and inserting images, creating images and inserting images into the post that we're working on, okay? Now, we will actually insert the images later. So in this video, we're going to go ahead and create them. When we go to post the blog, we'll go ahead and insert those images. So share my screen with you here. And you'll see we have the document pulled up that we started working on yesterday. We wrote a little bit of it and we defined private school marketing. And we also wrote that hook. And so what we need to do is we need to create images for these. Now, this used to be fairly challenging because you had to dodge all the copyright issues. You couldn't use someone else's photos. And still, you do not want to use anybody else's photo that's online because those are copyrighted and owned by those organizations. At one point, we were working with a missions organization, and somehow I ended up using a copyrighted image of the president of El Salvador for a missions organization. And some media legal company from Europe tracked us down and basically said, you're going to pay us $1,000 or we're going to take you to court in Europe. And so we had to pay $1,000. So don't make the mistake of using copyrighted images. So you have to have royalty-free images. Now, there are sites that probably, it really doesn't matter anymore because we now have AI, but there are royalty-free photo sites that you can use, but the photos really aren't even that good a quality. And so I don't even recommend them anymore. So that's just giving you the history of how you would have used photos in your website, things you would have need to know. Now we're going to come over to ChatGPT and we're going to prompt it in a particular way to get just stunning, super high quality photos. So we're going to do that now. And we're going to come over to ChatGPT. I'm going to open a new chat. And I'm going to prompt the ChatGPT here, and I'm going to prompt it and tell it the context of what we're doing. So I'm going to say, you are the world's best graphic designer. Okay, so I'm giving it knows now what its job is. It knows its expertise, and this kind of primes it. It gives it better outputs. If you're interested in doing this more and you want to get better at the prompt engineering for these AIs, please go watch the AI step-by-step training intro to AI course. And we've got this for you. And you'll understand what I'm doing here. But right now, we're giving it a role, okay? Your goal is to create real to life, and this is a specific term I'm using, real to life cinematic photos for me to use on my marketing firm's website. Okay, so let's go through a couple of these things. Your goal is to use real to life. How does the AI know what type of images to create? It could create cartoons. It could create weird cyberpunk stuff. It could create anything like hand-drawn pencil images. It can do anything. So we need to tell it the style. Well, we want real to life. And what do we want? Real to life what? Well, we want it to look like a photo. We want people to actually think that it's real. Like we went with a professional photographer and took pictures. Okay, so we want real to life photos. Now, what is cinematic? Cinematic is a really great word that is going to be more almost like movie-ish in the sense that you're not just taking a photo, straight on and it's like, they're smiling, cheese. That would be a real to life photo. We want a cinematic photo where, it's almost like a drone shot looking down on them while they're doing something awesome. And it's going to look more real time, like something's happening. There's going to be emotion, a wow factor, or maybe it's sad or like whatever's relevant. Okay. So this is why I'm using these words specifically. And I've tried other words and terms. For example, I tried hyper real because I just thought that meant super duper real. It actually means more than real. And Kate, you'll probably remember they all have this kind of weird glossy look. That's because we were using hyperreal. As soon as I started using real-to-life photo, it stopped doing the weird glossy look. So that could be improvement in the AI, but it seems like it does have to do with the prompt as well. So all of that to say, I want to add more. Use exactly 0 words. And I'm going to say 0/0. So it knows I mean 0 in all senses. Use exactly 0 words in the image. Export the image in square format. Okay, now this will get more and more advanced. Right now, ChatGPT only offers 3 formats. You have the wide, landscape, square, and then tall. Okay, so we're going to do square. That should show up fine on a blog. And so we're going to go ahead, and now we're going to say, create me an image of private school marketing. And we're just going to see what it comes up with first. Now, there's a number of ways we can edit these. There's a number of, we can go fully new prompt, and we're just like, this whole thing is garbage, which it's usually pretty good. Or we can actually now select different areas of the photo and say, I don't like this little thing over here. The kid that's, throwing a fit in the corner, take that kid out and put a happy kid in there, and it'll do it for you. So it's pretty cool. Okay, so here we go. Ooh, that's fancy. All right, so you'll notice we do have a very institutionally, very fancy sort of picture. This doesn't, to me, say marketing, and there are no people in it. All right, what do people gravitate to? Smiling people. Okay.
That looks more like old university,
It
like
does. Yes, it has
Cambridge
very
or something
traditional.
like that.
Yes. Okay. So great. Okay. So I'm just going to say, thank you, but make the image include people, and also we are a digital marketing firm, and I don't get any digital or marketing vibes in this image. Try again. Okay, so it's now going to incorporate that into the style of the photo. And now what's really happening behind the scenes here, so you guys know, is ChatGPT is a large language model, and it is using another image model, totally separate AI, okay? And it is writing a prompt. So we're prompting ChatGPT. ChatGPT is taking that prompt and then prompting the image AI, and the image AI is then outputting the image back to ChatGPT, and then ChatGPT shows it to us. Okay, now here, you'll notice it starts using text again. Now let's see what it said. Here's an updated image. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can see what the private school marketing, and includes diverse. Okay, now one thing I want you guys to be aware of is there is a little bit of DEI pushed in here, diversity, equity, inclusion. For those of you familiar with that, it includes a scene with diverse professionals. So depending on your audience, you're going to have to be aware of its proclivity to put diverse people in there. And that can be difficult, if you're trying to target, and in the Philippines, if you're trying to target, let's say you're making images for a church in the Philippines, you're probably going to have mostly Filipino people in that church. And you're going to have like a bunch of random, completely unrelated, groups of people in that image that might not make sense. And so from a marketing perspective, you want to have the target audience in the image, and this has a leaning to not always do that. So just be aware of that. Okay, diverse professionals collaborating in a digital workspace surrounded by modern technology and digital marketing tools. You can view and add this image. Okay, so first thing you'll notice, it says Pygital, private school marketing, Mankemying. Okay, so this image tool is not ChatGPT, and it cannot spell for anything. Okay, now the next thing I don't like about this image is it doesn't look real. It looks like a drawing. Okay, so we're going to go back. And I'm going to say, I want a real to life real to life photo with a cinematic, I don't know how to spell that, style. I want 0 words. Try again. Okay. Now, until we get something close, when we get something close, we can do some fine-tuned edits on it. But so far, that's not really marketing. This isn't real. This is closer, but it doesn't look real to life for sure. It doesn't look like a picture. It looks like a drawing. So we'll wait here. We'll see what it gives us this time. Let's see. And once it gets on that, see, that's a little bit better. That stuff, I mean, it's a little better, except they're in a high rise. So great. I mean, you'll see. Yeah, this is like dystopian future where there's like an entire team for this school in some kind of a building. So probably not. Okay. I'm going to say that image is better. Keep with that style, but make it real to life. Make it still a little drawing-y, a real to life photo, and make it relevant, RELAVA, relevant to private private schools, private school administrators, because that's who's going to be reading our article. Now, this gets better. Like if I write a whole article, which actually we can actually go and look at, but if I go and ask it to create it after it's written a whole article, it's going to be able to prompt it better because it has more context. So we're kind of starting from scratch here, and this is what the prompting and the context does as we dial it in closer and closer over time. But if this doesn't work, we'll probably switch over to one of the articles I've recently written with it. See, now we're kind of moving in the right direction here. Okay. Private school, private school. They really went all the way with private school. Okay. I'm going to say, so here, let's go ahead and say, okay, that's a little big. So I'm hitting the lasso tool here. This is all brand new features. And I'm going to say here, I'm going to highlight that. And I'm going to, okay, I'm going to say, I see nothing that says marketing what's the article talking about here? Private school marketing. What is that says, what is marketing? Okay. Now there's a very good shot. It's not going to be able to spell this, but it's getting better. It can definitely spell things now. Like private school, it didn't even used to be able to spell that. Okay. Let's go ahead, put this in. This picture would be good enough for a blog picture. And in the future, it's going to be able to start following on this style. So any questions on this?
No.
Okay. Micheline and Anne, is this new for you guys? Have you seen this done before?
I've done part.
No.
I used the thumbnails, YouTube thumbnails.
Good. Okay, so you've used it for, so you know, okay, great. Okay, so here, what is marketing? It's better. That's better. I'm just for, again, just for example's sake, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna lasso. I don't really like the whole thing on the screen. I'm just gonna say, all right, I don't like the image on the TV screen. Please please create a better image that has to do with digital marketing. Let's try that. And maybe this time it will just remove the text, which is fine. But something that looks a little bit more marketing-y. It just looks like a bunch of dials. And we'll hopefully get something decent here and we'll just move on. Any questions or anything? Oh my gosh, I do not like that. That's worse. All right, we'll just go with this one. We'll stick with it. This isn't terrible. This is fine for a blog image. They don't have to be crazy or perfect or anything like that. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna come to the download button. We're just gonna download that. We're gonna save it. And now it's in my downloads folder. And we can go ahead and include this in here. Now I'm gonna say in all caps, I'm gonna maybe say add image here. Okay, or I can say which image if I want, and I'm probably gonna bold that. So as I go through or the poster goes through, when we get into posting, we're going to know, oh, there's an image that's supposed to go there, and we can pull them in. Any thoughts or questions on that before we stop in this video? Cool.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, and one thing I'll add here as we conclude, don't add the image into the Google Doc. And the reason for that is the Google Doc will actually compress the image too small. And if we take the image out of the Google Doc and put it into WordPress, it's not going to look right. So we actually need to take the image, upload it to WordPress, and then put it in the document when we're posting the article. All right, so thanks so much for being in this video. In the next video, we are going to be looking at writing the rest of the article, which we're not going to do in this call, but we're going to just kind of briefly expand on what that means to write the rest of the article, how long that might take when we're writing by hand. And then we're going to be looking at questions at the end of the article. So we're going to go ahead and end this video. We'll see you in the next one.